And we're live in the podcast. Demetrius, you looking good, man. Looking
Thank you.
smart with the glasses.
I appreciate it. I know they can't smell me, but put some of this.
Hey,
Now I'm smelling good.
listen, I heard this thing. When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good.
It's
And
true.
I'm sure that has something to do with smell as well.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, when I
Even
smell
though
when I smell good, I do feel good.
I do want to figure out, like, because I know it's out there, like what smells make you, make your brain work better. I don't know what that looks like, but I always think I would love to have that smell going in my. I think of it as a sense, or the not sense, but incense, or the oil. What is the oil that burns?
Oh yeah, I ain't talking about.
Diffuser.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I would love to have a diffuser that just keeps me awake, like zing.
I think all that stuff is a placebo.
Mm.
But
I think there has to be some piece of it.
no, I think it's well. Here's the part I think that's a placebo. I mean, here's why I think placebos still are real. If you look good, you feel good, right? But some people that don't work for them. As long as it does something in your brain, it works. So you know what I'm saying? So there might be a smell that you smell that makes you feel like, oh yeah, but it may not work for me. But my point is that I think that as long as it does something in your mind, it worked.
Because it worked for me,
Yeah.
whether it's real or not. But what if it is real though, or it's real to me?
I mean, here's my thing with that. I feel like this is only my own thing though. So
I mean, I'm listening.
I don't I don't like I don't like mythical type stuff, right? I'm gonna say something, and I know it's gonna offend some people, and I'm specifically talking about my people. And this goes in business and inside in business and out of business, right? I feel like, and maybe this is just like a minority thing, right? So don't get mad at me, okay? What I'm about to say, but when I deal with some of my fellow black folk, and this could be any other nationality, they're kind of like, oh yeah, it's my season right now. It's my season. Or they go to church and it's like, I got a good word today. They say it's my time right now. It's my time for earning. And it's like it's my time to make money or whatever. And it's like, oh, so if it's a season, is it gonna end? Like you can't just like make money for the rest of your life. Like God's given you like one little window, or he gave you a sign and it wasn't gonna work if you didn't get that sign. I think that I don't like relying on that type of stuff. I think there's universal laws that just work. And I feel like for me, what it's like, hey, hard work pays off. Bam. That type of stuff. So that's my only little thought. So when I hear incense and all that, that to me is like it scares me.
1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's like edge, right? So I say this because I was talking with a client the other day, and he had this nose strip, and I asked like, hey, or I was on a call and someone asked him like, hey, why do you have nose strip? Like, what's it for? And he says it helps me breathe better. When I'm sleeping, I sleep better. I wake up more energized. It allows more oxygen in when I'm working out. And so I believe in that. I don't know
Oh, me
what the
too.
nose. I don't know
That's
what the nose strip does. Like if
well,
it has chemicals or like
I can tell you
what's it
exactly what it
doing?
does. Look at this nose. I have the worst. I have a hard time breathing. I breathe out of my mouth.
Mm.
At night, I snore. When you put the nose strip on your nose, what it does is it pulls this part up, and it keeps it's no chemicals or anything. It keeps your nostrils open because it's sticky and it like pulls it up and it just keeps it open. So I think that's science. That's different from some incense. But But here's
But
my
the science,
thing.
but the science could be incense too, because it could be like, hey, burn this oil. This oil comes from this herb,
I hear
and
you.
herb. I'm just
You
saying.
you literally could be right, but
Yeah.
I believe in placebos for good. I go to BW3s once a week, and it sets me off for the week. Like, why? I love sitting at the bar. I go get my little 10 wings. I get my tall beers, and it just sets me off for the week. It's a placebo. It makes me feel better. It makes me work better. It makes me excited. It makes me
It's a
grateful.
reward, right? Like gives you
Yeah,
gives you something to look forward to. I like it.
yeah. So when I'm saying placebo, I'm not trying to hate on that. I guess what I'm saying is that it's different for different people. But I hear you. The incense could be scientific for sure.
I just think of, it's funny because certain terms have certain negativity associated to it, right? So when you think
Yes.
placebo, I think, oh, it's fake,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
in your mind, but yeah, sure, it can go.
Yeah.
Well, today's little episode, I put the truth with managing clients.
Oh man.
Hey, this is the other side, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like you've been getting off. I feel like you've been getting some slides.
How?
But
I feel like I'll be telling the truth.
no, I'm not saying you don't tell the truth, but I think you know there's things that you can open up with, and there's things that you hold back a little bit. So I'm calling you out today.
All right.
But I think it all comes down to, we all have clients that can be difficult, and it might be managing expectations. It might be things around, we've allowed the relationship, we forgot. We say this a lot. I say, me and you talk about this a lot. Like, we become order takers and
Yeah,
forgot that we are the experts, and they hired us for a reason.
exactly.
And it gets to a point into the relationship where you're just like, sometimes I feel like, man, it's your money. If you want to waste it, waste it. Fine.
Yeah,
You want me to make a PDF for you, and you're gonna pay me $1,000 when
yeah,
my time could be utilized doing something different?
yeah,
So be it.
yeah,
But that caused frustration for us, which, again, if it's managing expectations. But funny enough, there's some clients that come in and out of my life, and not saying a love-hate relationship, but it's like I love to serve them,
yeah,
but I hate some of the things that I let slide, because I know, like, hey, we could be doing things in a better situation based on better
yeah,
things.
yeah,
So I feel that quite often. I have a client right now. I just can't keep him focused. He's
yeah,
all over the place. It's like, okay,
yeah,
well, we're going to charge this thing, and then he's literally in the same sentence, he says something different. I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, didn't you just tell me this other thing over here? Like, you were going to charge this?
yeah,
Because when I position your product or funnel or ad, right, I'm going to say a certain lingo to stay in line with what you're saying, and then he
yeah,
just switches on me.
yeah. That's I. So here's me opening. I'm gonna open up about this. I'm gonna just brain dump, kind of like my frustration right now with just
Sure.
this whole thing. So number one is, let's just start off with my skill set, and the thing that makes me a superpower is literally the opposite of what would make me a superhuman client server. So literally, like,
Yeah, explain that. What does that mean?
yeah, so literally, like, my I just I've over the course of just the past 10 years that I've been self-employed, working with clients. Part of that time was working with you, working with clients. So I've done it in teams, I've done it by myself. I've done it all. I realized that I'm great at sales. I'm great at explaining, sales, educating, kicking off the project, kicking off the client, getting everything the exciting part. And then that's my superpower. But if I remain on the project as the main communicator, there's virtually always going to be there's always going to be a breakdown, a frustration moment for the client, a come to Jesus moment, angry emails, angry texts, voicemails, all that. It happens every time. And it's because I'm not leaning in to what I'm good at. And
Mm.
I'm in this position now where I have clients, and actually, I really like. I think that like I like all my clients are amazing people, and honestly, none of them are really annoying me based off something that they're doing. It's really off of the relationship has changed on my side. I no longer want to be in the client business, so to speak, right? That doesn't mean I mean for myself. So I'm in this process where I have to build up other people or bring other people around me that are good with those parts. And it's like I'm doing that while I'm launching another business, while I'm managing clients, while I'm trying to do all these other things. I'm trying to find the time to bring in the people to to start to be that gap for me. And it's like the perfect scenario for me is not dealing with clients at all within a team. Okay. Um, and I'm just concentrating on content creation, marketing, sales, going out to the public, stirring up business, being out, public speaking, that type of stuff. Like to me, that's the ultimate thing. Or a one person business where I'm just creating things and solving the problems that I'm having, and then hopefully finding people just like me that want to buy my products and courses and whatever. So neither one of those businesses is me
Yeah.
directly dealing with clients. It's just that I don't like the order taking part. And it's like, imagine you working with a client for 5 years, and when you started working with them, you had this outlook on business and this outlook on marketing. You had this outlook on what you were trying to build. And then over time, you start leveling up your skills, you start leveling up how you look at business, you start leveling up different things. And then it's like you're trying to bring your clients with you, but they just want that same old thing when you first designed that flyer. And it's like, hey, I'm not the flyer design guy anymore. I got 3 flyer design guys now. I don't even touch flyers. And then it's like raising your prices, and it's all this type of stuff. And that's the part that I really sucked at, is bringing my clients along with me with my newfound enlightenment.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like I'm like this guru, right? Who can just really, I can help the president, you know what I'm saying, with a business,
Yeah.
president, put me in, coach. But then they say, hey, can you go on my website and just change that period to exclamation point? I think it'll bring more excitement to my website. And I'm like, no, it won't. It's like that. They see you as this person and you see yourself as this person. I actually had a client find some of my content on social media,
Yeah.
and they brought it up to me and they were like, "Oh my gosh, I did not know you all this stuff you were saying, like we didn't know." And it's because it's like I didn't really feel like I got the opportunity based off our relationship to come to you and say, "Hey, can we meet? I want to tell you this new stuff." It's like,
But don't you think you should though?
yeah, I definitely have to, because I just feel like I'm having more and more hard conversations with clients now. And I think it's because I've just got to the point where I've gotten to the point where I no longer fulfilled.
Mm.
So I'm dropping the ball a lot more kind of on purpose sometimes. Not really, but not
Yeah.
on purpose, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Do you think that you have um like from here what I'm hearing is like you have, and now I'm gonna use the word outgrown, but maybe like I think that's what I'm trying to say is like you've overgrown your current clients, right? You've grown up, you've leveled up, and what they expect is not what you deliver anymore.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say I've outgrown them. What I would say is I've outgrown the relationship we had.
Mm.
If we were high school boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Like, I'm not trying to be high school boyfriend and girlfriend no more. Like, we like in a committed marriage at this point. you know what I'm saying, with kids. It's a whole different relationship. And I feel like it's really starting to take a mental toll on me because I'm finding myself, I don't know if anybody else feels like this just in general. I'm finding myself fulfilled immensely with certain parts of my business. Like I'm talking about to the point where like I wake up jumping out of bed to work on these certain parts of my business. And then there's certain parts of my business where I am literally like, I want to like almost like fake my death to disappear, move to another. You know what I'm saying? like Demetrius died last week. Like,
well, let me ask you this. So you're
website.
so this might come down. I mean, I would say ultimately, like, right. I've read this book called Extreme Ownership, and it's all about like, taking full responsibility of every outcome of whatever it is.
That's how I feel, by
And
the way. It's not their fault for sure.
yeah. No, what I hear and what I think is, because as I think about the evolution of my agency, there was definitely milestones, just like you say, a relationship, right? So if you're dating in high school, you guys are not living together, right? And when you decide to get married, all of a sudden you have to figure out how to buy a house, how to save up for a house, how to do all these things, which maybe as you're evolving with your clients, you haven't figured out some aspects in your business. So what I hear, and from my experience, was as I evolved, if you're saying very one-on-one with the client, very relationship based, hey, we're executing da 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 da, then I started bringing in team members, right?
Yeah.
So that I'm not executing everything, and now they're dealing with the project manager, and now I'm at a higher level of touch points because it's like, hey, we don't need Michael in every single
Yeah.
email or situation, and that just
Yeah.
sucks me in.
Yeah.
But with that evolution of the relationship, they evolve too because
Yeah.
now you're saying the right things. Like now I'm able to do more content. I'm able to do this, do that. And
Yeah.
maybe you haven't stepped into that, or maybe you are stepping in or haven't stepped into that role of like, hey, look, I'm no longer a freelancer, guys.
Yeah.
Like we were dating in high school, but I've moved, I'm ready to
Yeah.
move out. And part of that moving out is taking on more responsibilities, bringing in more talent that way, because if not, you've created a job.
Yeah. No, for real. That's why that's that's why I'm not even convinced that I even need to be a part of an agency type model. Like for example, the Giant Maker. So I have my clients that I have that just always been my clients specifically to me. Then I have the Giant Maker, which I have two people with me, and there is a white glove component to it, but it's specifically tied to features in the software. So we'll do it for you, we'll build something for you, but it's like we're not going to design a logo for you, right? So so that's that, right? And I am totally not a part of the operations or day to day of that over here, right? Which is by design. But in my freelancer type thing, which is just me just not wanting to give up money no more, like not give up the money because it's like it's
There it is.
coming in.
Now we're talking the root.
Yeah, so it's like I keep it and I'm doing a lot of things. I'm doing a lot of things. Now, granted, I do have some people I outsource stuff to. But again, that requires me
Managing the project.
communicating with them now.
Yeah.
So now, you know what I'm saying? So I think that like for me, I just need to be removed from that whole thing. Now I'll say this. There's a there's a bit of information that I can't unsee that I've seen that I know. And it's called the ascending value model. Well, it's really called the ascending transaction model, but I changed it to ascending value model, which is just a value ladder, right? And here is what I realized, and this is exactly why I feel like I jumped to the VIP stuff too soon, right? You have 4 tiers. The last tier is VIP client work. There's 3 tiers before that you could create products and services and things that don't require you to do anything one-on-one. And I think that that is kind of where I would go back to the drawing board and build my stuff like that. And then when somebody would want to say somebody wanted to work with me one on one, it's like that's where my team would be waiting for the new people. And I would get it started. And then right from the beginning, they would be like, oh, that's Lupita. Yeah, Lupita is gonna send you all the emails. So like I don't send emails. You know what I'm saying?
But now that requires another skill set because you have to manage whether it's your project manager or you have to manage that team, hire, fire, like a
Exactly.
true leadership business. So that's
Exactly.
one avenue, or the other avenue could be like, hey, partner up with other businesses, agencies, or whatever that do the parts that you don't want to do, and
Yeah.
like say, hey, let's just have a, white label them,
Yeah.
or say, hey, look, this is some type of affiliate commission or something, and that you guys share clients. Do
Yeah.
you think so? You said something last week, or maybe the other day. I don't even know if it was on the call, but you're like, hey, I realized that you optimize your business for money, where I optimize me life in general, right? Like I
Yeah.
optimize my life for business, or money, you optimize your life for freedom, right?
Yeah.
But are you really free?
But
Right? With
I
the
think
model that you have,
did
right?
I say freedom or did I say fulfillment?
Ooh. I guess we could figure out the right word. I thought it was freedom.
Let's just say it's freedom. Let's
Yeah.
just say it's freedom. Um, I think what I was saying. Let's just say freedom, because I probably did say freedom, because freedom is my number one thing I want.
Yeah.
But freedom is a big word. So let's get specific. I think
Sure.
what I mean optimizing my life, I mean I'm trying to dial in for freedom. I'm trying to direct myself, orient myself to freedom. And I think you are dialing in and orienting yourself to money. That doesn't mean freedom's not there too, somewhere right here and other stuff, or money. I'm not saying I don't care about money, but I think that, so to your point, no, I'm not free. I'm saying I think that that's in a situation, like for example, like what makes you feel like you're boxed in, right? For you, it would be like you feel like you're losing control of being able to get the money. For me, the number one times that I freak out is anytime somebody says, "Hey, can we make this a weekly call?" I'm like, no, no, what you talking about? You saying every Friday at 2 o'clock? I gotta be here at 2 o'clock? That means just for how long? Like I start freaking out in my mind. Did I have that's a
That is
client
so real.
that's a
That is
client's
so
favorite thing to
real.
do. If I let every client have a standing meeting, I would have a meeting 4 times a
Every
day, every day of the week, just to get on a call and just be like, okay, cool, everything's going good. Yep, okay, cool. All right, break. So for me, that's what I kind of mean.
How many clients do you have right now that you meet on a weekly basis?
Well, some of okay, so two of them, it just had to like it couldn't. One of them was trying to meet every day for 15
No
minutes.
way.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a lot.
yeah. So
You have a job. That's a job.
that's my okay, but that's so when I say optimizing myself for freedom, that's kind of what I mean. Is I don't want a job. Like so that's why I keep saying that's why the client thing to me, and again, if any one of my clients ever sees this, like I think they'll understand because they already know that I don't reply back to emails on time and all that type of stuff. And I don't get projects done on time. But it has nothing to do with them. It has to do with where I'm at and kind of what I get enjoyment from. And it's not punching a clock. Like and I'm trying to tell you, if you try to schedule a same day meeting with me, I literally might like they don't know this, but I'll be like, I had a guy call me today. Hey man, I had this meeting today, and I got this guy who's gonna want to work with us over here, and you just could explain the stuff better than me. Can we jump on a call later? I was like, oh, you trying to schedule this for today? I'm like, dude, I'm like, that's
Anxiety starts rising.
exactly. I start being like,
Even
so
though you're great, even though you're great at talking and you're
yeah,
great at explaining and you can
yeah.
do it on the fly and no one would ever even see the anxiety piece
But
of it.
the anxiety doesn't come from that. The anxiety comes from here's the other realization, right? And I know you're gonna feel this one. I'm so hyper focused on my time now, what my time is worth. And sometimes I feel like if my time is wasted or if people aren't respecting my time, I literally feel like people are waking up in the morning and they're like, what can I have Demetrius do today? Or how can I affect Demetrius's calendar? And you have to do that when you're working with a client. So I understand that. Here's where I feel like sometimes the disrespect comes. Hey, you're a father, a husband. I know you're running a business. I know you're busy. I know you literally are doing a lot. I'm still going to call you today and see if I can get you on a call today. Rather than saying, hey, in the next 5 days, the sooner the better, is there a time where we could just jump on a call for maybe 30 minutes? Here are the 3 things I would love to talk to you about, Demetrius. That to me is the most respectful thing ever because you know why? Number one, they don't make me feel like I'm boxed in. And number 2, they let me know what they want to talk about so that I can mentally prepare and then come to the meeting and feel like I'm like contributing. And I feel like a lot of times I feel like the meeting culture is really a culture of I just want to make sure everything's going good and I just want to make sure that
But I think all the ghosts say is that you need a buffer. And if you had a project manager, like they can go to them.
listen,
And
I'm
they
waiting
can,
for AI. I'm waiting for AI. Listen, talk to my AI. Listen, you got to talk to my AI. It'll schedule appointments. It'll answer questions.
I just challenge you to say, are you really optimizing for freedom? Or
No,
whatever it is.
no, I
But you
think I
gotta think
am.
that way.
Oh, say that again.
No, I'm saying that I feel like if you want to look at this as a therapy session,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
hey, right? Like the question is, are you truly optimizing yourself for freedom? Because maybe you would bring in an AI piece and
Oh,
or
I
have
see.
a
Yeah, 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 yeah.
form, like truly optimize for people not to stick you, but they have too much access to you, maybe.
That's what it is. My now,
Yeah.
I don't know who's watching this, but my analogy is this. I say this all the time.
You're trying to let's see. You're saying these things because you're being um cautious.
No, I'm about to say something crazy.
Go go ahead, let it out. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say something crazy, but I still don't think it's crazy. People might feel like how I feel. You might feel how I feel. Okay. So there are 2 types of people in this scenario I'm talking about. Okay. There are people like me. This is gonna sound very conceited, but it's not. I I go deep on things, right? So if I want to learn automations, I'm gonna go deep on automations. If I'm gonna learn WordPress, I'm gonna go deep on WordPress. I'm gonna go deep on servers and VPSs and all these different things. I'm gonna go deep on the stuff that I care about. I go deep, okay? But I'm also a very curious person. So I go deep on a lot of things. So over the past 10 years, especially a lot of us working together, we had to figure things out. The client wants this and that. Oh, we got to figure that out. And then I would go deep on it. You would go deep on a different part. And to this day, you went deep on ads, traffic, funnels, and all those things, right? And then I went deep on the things that I understand. And there's an overlap between the both of us, right? Then there's people who don't go deep on stuff. So they don't know how to do stuff, and that's totally fine. Or they didn't go deep on the things that are going to move their business forward. So what they do is they find people like us, and they're like, "Oh man, I think I found the guy. I think I found the MacGyver that I've been looking for." And it's like, for example, I'll start talking about, "Yeah, I'm launching a podcast," and they're like, "Oh, you're launching a podcast?" It's like, "Yeah," and I'm still telling them, they're like, "Oh my gosh, he's a podcast guy."
do my podcast.
Maybe he can help me with my podcast.
Yeah.
And if you heard what I said I'm launching a podcast. Like I didn't say anything that I'm got a podcast business, but what you heard is I have knowledge of something you don't. So guess what? You try to take my time. So this is what I feel like.
I do that to you too.
You say what?
I said I do that to you too. I'm like,
Yeah,
I just have a quick question on high level. Help me with the.
No. Me and you are different. We're friends.
Okay.
We're both we have mutual beneficial conversation. So let's remove that out of what I'm saying. I'm talking about people outside the circle. Okay.
Oh, I don't feel like you're talking about me, but yeah, I'm saying, but I know I feel that because you are an expert in something. I'm like, man, I just need a quick answer. Like, let me see if I can get a hold of this dude.
So here's my analogy. I told this to my wife today. I was like, I think I can feel like what it feels like. I don't know why I said it that way. I think I can empathize with women when they go to the club.
Oh yeah, because they're like vultures.
Listen, I feel like I got big boobs, big butt. I got a little Shein dress for $12 that's so tight.
You're sexy.
I got heels on, and I'm walking in the club, and there's nothing but dudes. That's what I feel like. Everyone's trying to get a piece of me, and because you said something to people, and guess what? I'm a slut because I let them. I'm easy.
Everybody can have me.
Yeah, so I be trying to like get people off me a little bit, and I didn't slut it around.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and it's just one of those. It's one of those situations where I just feel like that's kind of how I'm feeling. And now I went through my whole phase, and now I'm trying to be, not like that. I'm talking about in the business. Obviously, you know what I'm talking about. It's an analogy, okay?
I'm listening.
I want to have the chastity belt on. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to have to sign a contract.
I would tell you again. I think that chastity belt is bringing someone to alleviate that.
No, I agree with
you. You need you at the club by yourself right now.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. You at the club by yourself. You need your homegirl to come in and be like, hey, look, like the dude starts trying to dance with you, and the girl comes in and she like blocks him. Like, not right now.
That's a good yeah. That you know what you just did? My analogy was like a transformer, it was like Voltron.
Yeah.
And you just put a shoulder missile on that. You know what I'm saying?
But it's so true. I mean, I want to see you succeed. I don't want you to be stressed. Like me too, man. If you see something where I'm like, hey, look, this piece of the puzzle will save your life. And you've done that a couple times with some softwares, 11 labs, and this and that. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at what I'm doing now. And I just super rushed whatever I had to do. And it's helped me.
Yeah, I did. So I did start the beginnings of that. I created so I have a ticket system now.
Yeah.
So my clients submit tickets. That has helped out a bit. But the next
I still think you need a person.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's easier now for a person to come in and answer tickets.
Yeah.
And take over. Because a lot of times clients just want to know that like their requests are being heard and their communication. Yeah. Really, at the end of the day, I make it hard on myself because I can tell the client, hey, and this other thing too, I just think I'm just a people pleaser. Hey, you know what? I would I'm gonna be honest with you, today is already so booked up. I hate to say no to you, but it's just such a busy day. I would probably wouldn't be able to meet until Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. But I could send over a Loom video. You know what I'm saying? Like there's still things I can say that I'm not saying.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna introduce you to somebody, and I hope you bring her on. And she calls herself OBM.
Okay.
online business manager.
Okay.
And I brought her on a couple months ago, and I literally called her probably into week 3. And I was like, I'm sitting at my house, and I don't know what to do right now. I don't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't know what to do. And if because she alleviated the back and forth emails, the me talking to my team, the me doing this, me doing that, she helped me with that piece. And then like 2 days later, Linda like was off of work early or something's going on. It was like during the day, and she's like, "You want to go to Disney?" And I'm like, I was like, "But wait, wait, everything's handled over there, right?" Like that first nervousness of like, I got stuff to do, I got to answer this,
Yeah.
answer that. If you're open to it, man, I think that's your next step. And if you're, you'll transform into something different.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can make the intro for sure.
Yeah, if you're ready for that, I think that it's a hard step because like you want all the money, right? Like I don't want to pay nobody. I don't want to take on an extra expense, but you'll actually make more money by focusing on the things that make you money.
Yeah.
Because this stuff that you're doing, I don't think, it's making you money, it's bringing in income, but I think there's other things that you could be doing to bring in money.
Well, I think a big part of it too is excuse me. I'm on retainer with a lot of these people. So it's like the retainer model just needs to be developed a little. My retainer model needs to be developed because I have some clients who I think the value for them is I'm there, and they don't. I mean, there's times where it's like I barely do anything for them. I feel like, but it's the fact that I'm there that really is the value for them. So that's that. Um, the other, I have some that they pretty much. I'm like you would think I'm on the Philippines.
Wow. There's nothing
I know
wrong with
that's. I know that sounds
Yeah.
crazy, but if we getting real, it's like I have a American US dollar type problems, not Filipino whatever the money is problems and expenses. You know what I'm saying? I pay American rent. I have a Range Rover with an American car payment.
Yes.
Like it's just like you don't. It's like do you not realize that like, and that's my fault. I didn't put in enough parameters. It's like you got to be working like a slave over here.
But wouldn't it be better to find the clients like the other ones or the clients that you really like? Of course it would.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And honestly, here's the thing. It comes down to it. I don't want to build no websites no more. I don't want to design no nothing. My favorite part is the strategy, is the thinking, the research, the pulling it all the pieces together.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Listening to people talk, helping them come up with the solutions and come up with the ideas. That's where I'm at now. I don't want to be doing any of that stuff. I don't want to push no pixels, especially anything that is super subjective, right? Logos are super subjective. Most of the
Yeah.
conversations you have with a client about if a logo is good or not is just if they like it or not. It has nothing to do with ROI. It's
Sure.
nothing to do with this is gonna make the client, this is gonna make the customer spend more money. It's just like, I don't like that shade of blue. It's like, okay, that stuff is so dumb to me that I can't be a part of it no more. But it's not dumb. That's my point. That's not a dumb thing. I'm just graduated from that. So it's like, you know what? This website is so good. I love it. I love it. And then the next week, they're like, I was looking at
Oh
so
my
and so
God. That's
website.
the truth.
Can we? It's like I'm done with all that stuff. Like
Can you
that
can
subjective
you redo the whole thing and just give me a
Yeah.
new one? I don't care that
It's like,
you've wasted the past month and a half on it. It's okay.
yeah, it's just like more new ideas. Okay. Like, no, like once we kick off the project, it's like like I'm gonna charge you if you change ideas. But I don't want to be that person, so I don't want to be a part of that. So that's
I-
the main thing. I'm just unfulfilled in that area. I could talk to honestly if a client says, "Hey, I just want to book you just to talk to you about stuff." I would do that all day. Let's jump on a call. Let's talk. What
Yeah.
problems what you want to solve now? You know. So
Well, there are people out there getting paid for that. You could
I
be that
know, but
person.
but still, it doesn't alleviate the fact that there's client communication and all that. So you still need what you're saying. It's like I need a buffer. I need that girl at the club with me.
Yeah. I like that analogy. That was perfect. All right, man. Well, that's it, man. Managing client expectations.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
When you let the relationship go and you stop becoming the expert and becoming the order taker, not the best feeling.
Yeah, and this is a hard. I mean, it's hard. I know we're trying to wrap up. But I just want to close with this final statement. You know, you said something, and this is and I even said something at the beginning, and it is the type of person I am. Is I don't blame no one but myself. Even when I said like the whole placebo thing, like I don't like relying on the magic of this sign that I got. Oh, it's a sign I should start the business. No, the reason I'm gonna start the business is because I thought about it and it made sense and I'm gonna do it, right? But that's how I feel about this, right? I don't feel like the clients did anything wrong. The clients are just trying to do what's best for them.
Right.
And it's just what's best for them is not always best for me, but it's my fault because I didn't manage those expectations. So I just don't want
Mhm.
anyone to think that I'm bashing my clients because I'm actually not. It's just that I'm only one person. And what happens is my cup is always empty. Sometimes I don't have enough for my family, my wife, and my kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like dealing with stuff all day that it's my fault. So, like while we were on the call, I had 2 clients calling me
Right
on
now
Friday at 3:30. Yeah, I mean, I'm not
on
they
a
could
Friday.
yeah, it's 3:30, it's Friday, and they're calling me, and it's like, you know, they're again, it's the human nature of a person. Hey, he's probably going to be done at 5-ish.
Let me get him before he.
Let me get him before it's and you know what I'm saying? It's like that type of stuff is like it's it's like okay, imagine if I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, dude, I got an hour and a half. I'm about to kind of take it easy for the next hour. And they're like, no, you're not.
Redo my website. I need it done by tomorrow at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
All
So
right, man. Good talk. Well, we'll
Yeah.
chat.
all right, man.
See you.
Peace.